Hi everybody, this is Professor Wagle and this is another of your lecture for this week. So before I tell you guys about module 13, I want to let you know that spot evaluations are out. So if you guys can fill those up whenever you get time, please do so. I really read all the comments and feedbacks and try to use them in my pedagogy. So if you guys can fill out your spot evaluations whenever you get some time, please do so. Okay, now I wanted to run through some of the things you guys have already done and some of the things to expect in the coming weeks. Um, all of you have submitted your employment outlook report, but that was just a draft. And I saw that some of you kind of did not even format or do any kind of uh, organizing. You just like whatever you've done so far, you just dump the data in there, and that's fine. But remember, you have till 24th of this month to finish the final report. So make sure you go through the examples that are posted so you know how to write that, how to get all the things in there. So you should have your roadmap and you should have background of the professions that you're writing about. You should have data points, all of that stuff. You should have those things, right? So remember, your final employment outlook report is on the 24th. It's a big chunk of your grade because it's about 25%, 20 or 25%. Okay, now what's due for this week, module 13? You have a bunch of things. First thing you have is summarizing interviews. Now, my students kind of tend to get confused with that, and they think that is the interview that they have to conduct for the employment outlook report that they have to summarize here. That's not what you're doing. You're already given an interview that has been done with someone. And what you're doing collectively as a group is figuring out how to summarize it and write it down. And this is just a practice point for you to summarize your own interviews when you get down to it. Which brings me to the second point about interviews. So, some of you reached out to me worried that you were not able to finish your interviews or get in touch with people you wanted to interview before submission of the draft of the employment outlook report. Uh, I'll tell you what I told all of those people in my email response. It's all right. Try to get that, right? Try to do as best as you can to get an interview. But if you can't, you can. There's not much you can do. We are living in a different time where you can call up people, you can go to their workplace, you can do a lot of things. So interview is like a small portion of it, but if you can, try to get it because it will help you have an idea of what to expect when you go in the job market, right? Again, summarizing this interview that you are asked to do, which has already been done for you, you're just summarizing that interview. You'll use that same technique to summarize your own interviews in your report, right? So that's why we are asking you to do that. It's a very simple assignment. Don't overthink it again. Just as a team, decide how you want to summarize it. Even if one of you submits the summarization, that's fine, or you can even kind of do a discussion thing how you're doing it and then submit the report, right? Submit the summarized interview. That's all you're doing. So that's first. The other one you have to do is write your own progress reports. Now, your own progress reports, I put in like 3 examples. You can choose your own format. It doesn't have to be these 3 formats, it could be any format. But you have to write your progress report, which tells me what progress you have made in this report, in the employment outlook report, and it tells me what else you have left to do, right? Writing progress reports is a good practice for you when you go in the workforce because you will be asked to write these kinds of reports to when it comes time for promotions or raises or performance reports, right? So these kinds of things, how to write about your own progress, what contributions you made to the team, to the company, what kind of work you do, what kind of work is left. All of those things are good practice to write anyways, But this progress report also serves another purpose for me. It tells me who is doing what kind of work in this report. So when I go into grade your final progress report, your employment outlook report, I can refer back to this and say, okay, this person said they did this work, and I can cross check that with the report, right? It also tells me who did not do enough work. So all of those things help here. Again, this is a simple document, but remember to keep the principles of technical writing in mind when you're writing it. So single space, no indentations in your paragraphs, right? There's no, they're all left aligned, your paragraphs. Make sure you use bullet points or numbered lists or charts or figures, whatever it is you feel you need to do to show your progress in this report. And that's all it is, these two assignments for module 13. Now module 14 is not due till the week after, right? Now module 14 asks you to do one small micro writing exercise. You've done lots of those before. And then the other one is writing your abstract. Now I know a lot of you already wrote an abstract for your rough draft, but an abstract is something you write after the report is done, right? So by this time when you write your abstract, your report should be finalized. So it's easier to write an abstract, which by nature are very small. But think of an abstract as something that if somebody went to read your report and read the abstract and read the conclusion, they have an idea exactly what this report is about, right? So think about in your own line of work, when you do research, you don't go and read all the articles that show up in your search. You read an abstract to see what this article is about, and that gives you an idea whether you should go and read this for your research or not. And this is exactly the same thing. So how are you defining your report? What does your report contain is what will go in your abstract. So it doesn't have to be big, long paragraphs. It just needs to be one short paragraph, 200 words, 300 at the most. That's it. So short abstract kind of writing about what your report is. And then on 24th is your employment outlook report final due. And that's it, that will conclude. And then we have one more module left, which is module 15 that I have not published. I'm going to publish it next week, somewhere in the middle, because that one is just or I might publish it on weekend, because it is evaluating your team members. Again, your chance to kind of tell me if there are team members in your group who have not contributed or who have gone above and beyond their duties and contributed to making of this report. So that's one thing you will be doing. And then you have a LinkedIn profile, and I'll talk about that more once I publish it. And then a correspondence case, which constitutes as your final exam. But that is not due till the week of 22nd, so you have plenty of time. So for now, for next week, or if you guys want to do it this week, you have about 3 to 4 assignments between these 2 weeks. So take your time with it, or if you feel like you guys are ready, you want to go ahead and do those, you can do those too, right? So as soon as you do it, they're done and you're done with this class, right? So that's all I have. Again, a reminder, please do your spot evaluations. You should have all got an email and a link to do those. Please take 5 minutes out of your time to do those evaluations, because they help me kind of find the flaws in my pedagogy in what I teach, and also kind of help me, and sometimes some nice comments encourage me to keep going. Okay, so it always helps. So please do your spot evaluations, as many as you can, as many of you as you can. Okay, that's all I have for you now. It's a short lecture, so let me know if you have any questions, if you want to meet me on Zoom, and I will open up some spots for you. That's all for now. Thank you. Bye-bye.